We are live.
Okay, then. Well, that's great. Hi there. This is Roger. I'm here with Tagg, and welcome to our YouTube channel. If you're new here, thanks for showing up. We appreciate it. Want you to know that our YouTube channel has the single purpose of helping people that are in the home buying journey find something affordable. In fact, we named our channel Affordable Housing Solutions for Affordable Housing for Everyday People. Yikes. Don't want to throw in extra words there in case you want to look it up on YouTube. Anyway, with a little elbow grease and a big vision, your dream home is totally within reach. If you put in the work and bring your creativity, before you know it, you'll be kicking back in a place that's truly yours. Your dream home isn't just a wish, it's a DIY away. All right, so today we are looking at a home located in Birmingham, Alabama. The address, if you want to follow along, is 300 Joan Avenue. That's Joan Avenue in Birmingham, Alabama. This is a single family home. This is for sale for $120,000. It's a bit more than our homes usually are, but it's a 3 bedroom, 1 bath, 2,794 square foot home, so it's large. And it's on just under a third of an acre lot. It's 0.31 acres. The house was built in 1956. It has a 1-car garage. And we are looking at it on the Realtor.com website. They've got 12 photos, and we're going to jump into it. Tagg, why don't you take us away?
Okay, I'm glad that we selected this property here because this is in comparison of what we normally do, homes under 100,000. And as you know, most of the homes that we view is 2 to 3 bedrooms, 1 bath, roughly around the square footage, maybe a little smaller. However, 120,000, most homeowners would have to carry a home loan. They would need financing. So instead of paying $200-300 a month for a mortgage for a personal loan or nothing for cash, we just wanted to have an example that the way how the current real estate market is right now, we're being told that there's no affordable homes, which obviously there are affordable homes that just need a little work. So you would still need a down payment of 20% if you're not a veteran. And that's roughly around $4,000, which is half the cost of what we've been showing you so far. So we're going to take a look inside, and you can tell from this outside picture that the yard is beautiful. By the way, I mean, it has great vegetation around it. So one of the things that I look for is water drainage, healthy soil, shade around the home, things like that. And so you can tell that this home, the yard is overgrown for 120,000. Okay, so let's take a look around. Now you might have a less repairs on the outside, but looking at this green wall here and this black area here, it's apparent that there could be a mold problem. So you still have to get inspections. You still have to get foundation repair. But the thing about our previous videos is that we do that without a mortgage. No shade to the mortgage companies, not at all. This is just an example of your dollars can go a lot farther if you're selective with your choices and the price point that you're purchasing. Okay, so here, it looks as though this is a nice lot size. You can definitely build out, but you can also build up. So if you wanted a McMansion, you can build it on. You don't have to be mortgaged out of your eyeballs to have a nice home. So it looks as though we have a back patio. Don't know if it just rained or not, but this ground looks pretty saturated. So I would definitely look for some outdoor drainage, just so water isn't stagnant around the home and the foundation. Roger, do you have anything to add before we go in?
No, thanks for asking. I do like the little extra carport thing going on there, and it looks like they made the top of it, the roof of it, into a deck so that you can enjoy your outdoor view of nature. But
yeah, I
so,
like that too.
yeah, good. So in my mind, a lot of what we can see in these first few exterior photos might be able to be resolved with some soap and water, perhaps. You can't fix drainage with soap and water, obviously, but cleanup wise, for appearance's sake, hopefully you can accomplish that with soap and water, maybe a pressure cleaner. Uh, anyway, no, that's all.
Yeah, I really like the way how they maximize this space over this and garage, or it could be a greenhouse, just a project. It just depends on what your lifestyle is based on this home. So I like the fact that they did take advantage of making a flat roof and extending a porch. I thought that was very smart. So, I like to jump over to the kitchen. It looks as though there's only one photo of the kitchen. But here, this is a prime example of there's still work that needs to be done in this kitchen. And without a floor plan, it's hard to tell what this room is on the side over here. If you can incorporate this into the kitchen to make it bigger, more spacious. The kitchen has a lot of little tools that can clutter up very quickly. And if there's not enough counter space, I would add more counters and more cupboards and pantries and kitchen island, just so it can stay organized. Most of our lives are generated around food. So having a kitchen that's fully equipped and functional is one of the things on my top list to tackle first. Other than the big ticket items like your HVAC, your electrical, we don't want to blow circuits trying to use the microwave and the hair dryer at the same time. So moving on, the kitchen is a little dark for me. It's a lot of dark. You still need flooring. You still, need paint on the walls. If you don't like the way how the upper cabinets are designed, you still have to replace it. But the thing about it is that you don't have to do it with a high mortgage, So anyway, do you have anything you'd like to add?
Not really. I'm with you. The ceiling you'll probably want to be painted so that it helps with the lighting. I don't know if I would have chosen the shade of yellow that they're using for the walls, so maybe that too. I'm always, a fan of real wood cabinets. So even if they don't work in the room for me, I definitely want to repurpose them into like a storage type of thing, storeroom or laundry area or utility room. If I were to choose to redo the kitchen completely, that's what I would try to do with the cabinets. I'm guessing that I would be wanting to change the refrigerator, change the stove. I don't see any sign of a dishwasher there. So, you know, those are the big three appliances. Of course, a microwave as well. But I mean, to me, those four appliances are required in a modern kitchen, and I would want it before I was done. I would want that. Uh, even to the vent hood. I can remember buying a vent hood that looked just like that for 99 bucks at Home Depot. I can't even remember how many years ago, but it was for a rent house I owned at the time. And I installed it and took a look at it and thought, man, this is a piece of crap. I'm glad I'm not living here. And that was my own home that I was renting out, you know, because we were in a different home and luckily for us, a nicer one. Anyway, that's all I got
Yeah,
to say about
we ended up putting everything in that house, and
it.
it looked really nice after we got done with it.
Really did.
Which we ended up selling it to the renters. They loved it so much. But you know, we had to redo everything in the house because we had a tenant that had ferrets that ran free, and so the bottom of the cabinets were gone because I believe they used them as cages, and it smelled like ferrets, you know. So having a good quality renter in there that would respect the obligation of paying their rent every single month. We upgraded the whole entire house to attract that kind of tenant that would take care of the home as if it was theirs, their own. So it was well worth it. And, you know, I'd like to make a comment from your earlier statement about these cabinets being natural wood. I like a blonde wood myself. And so I would re-sand these cabinets and make it a lighter color. That's also a suggestion in case you don't want to redo the whole kitchen right away. So moving on to the bathroom, the next important room to me because of rest and relaxation. I like to take a bubble bath, you know, and so having a bathroom that has the aesthetic of relaxing with candles and bubbles and peace and quiet around or soft music, that's appealing to me simply because it's my home. It's supposed to be an oasis away from the world. And so I like to turn the bathroom into a spa as much as possible. And here, you know, even though this suited the other family that lived here, I would upgrade this tub. I would probably create another bathroom since it's only a one bath, and repurpose the shower doors into another bathroom just so it has a tub. It doesn't have to have a tub. I might even decide to use this outside and create a fountain for some homesteading, you know. So you can purpose other items in the home for something else and create a beautiful world for yourself without having to spend a ton of money. But this bathroom here, this is a storage closet. I think I would take this out into a built-in so I could have a tub. I like clawfoot tubs, and you know, it's just a preference. So the bathroom possibly could be long enough to have a double sink in there. I would do pedestal sink simply because it takes up less room, and have that built-in be the primary area for products and towels and whatnot. You can always decorate it with baskets and boxes and shelving baskets to make it look pretty. You know, you don't have to spend a fortune. Any comments about the bathroom?
No, no, I really don't. You know, the um, wallpaper pattern's not one I would typically choose. I believe you are pretty aware of that. I'm really not a fan of these low tubs. So like you, I'd be wanting to upgrade the tub. Um, since those doors are there, you know, at least you've got a shower tub situation. So that's a good thing. Um, but not much else beyond that. Can't really tell what they've got going on with the flooring, but hopefully it's not carpet. I can't just quite make it out. Do you have any thoughts on that?
I think it's tile. I think this is just a floor mat here.
Okay. Yeah,
I don't think there's carpet in the bathroom.
I have to admit, I think I've seen a few, what do you call those U-shaped type rugs that go in front of the toilet?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So that goes in the trash as soon as I can sign the paperwork and get the keys,
Yeah.
first and foremost. Anyway, so that's all really can think of to say about the bathroom, um, which is indicative that your thoughts are pretty spot on, and I am mostly in agreement with them. So anyway, please continue.
Okay. Moving on to the living room, because there is a tab for it. Wow, this is really dark. This is natural wood. I would go ahead and make this a blonde color. I would change out this door. Absolutely. I wonder where this door leads to. But it looks like a small room. I would possibly change this. Well, I do know that this is the kitchen behind it. So depending on the layout, I just might incorporate this with the kitchen.
Yeah. Some poor forest called it their wood back.
Yeah, we can always move this into the garage or another room, basement maybe, if there is one. Oh, there is. There is a basement. Okay, any comments about this room before we go on?
I would love to remove that paneling if, in fact, it became required in a very gentle and careful way so I could repurpose it, because that could make a really nice accent wall somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's really all I've got to say about the room. It's not to my style or taste, but everybody's got their own preferences, so just leave it at that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, on.
Yes.
Back to you.
Okay, so we are back
there. Who am I hearing? Somebody in your lap?
That's Digit, and she's wanting to come up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So nobody's in your lap right now,
No, nobody is in my lap right now. I'm sinking in this chair. I definitely need a high chair, so I don't look so small behind this desk. But she's wanting to come up, and she's also hungry too. I have that ant problem, and I switched out their food, and they don't want to eat it. So she's hungry. Telling me, get up, cook.
So it's not the cat hungry. It's not the cat hungry memes that we see, right? Where the cats want to eat constantly.
Yeah. But you know, she is a female dog, and if you don't give her what she wants, she'll, just like any other female, destroy everything in her path until she gets it. So I got to deal with that. Right now, she's trying to bite my toes, but anyway,
Please continue.
Moving, we have a, it seems like it could be a mudroom or a really narrow rectangle. I don't know what this is. But, you know, I'm not a fan of paneling unless it's real wood. I would repurpose this without having a floor, knowing how this room is laid out. It's hard to get a visual of the improvements that you would want to make to the home in advance, so you could have some type of budget to work with to start a project. So anyway, I do like the fact that it has a ceiling fan in here with all these windows. So I'm pretty sure it gets. Now I do notice that the floor, can't tell if this is concrete or carpet. Maybe it's carpet because the home does have a basement. So, and then here's a window leading from the inside. So I would try to incorporate this on the inside. I mean, there's no, I think having all these windows in a room should be utilized for the spaciousness of the living space you actually live in. Excuse me. Instead of covering them up, for some reason, it just defeats the purpose of having windows like this that are just really gorgeous.
I love those windows. I agree.
Yeah, and I'm sure this room gets pretty toasty with all these windows and it's such a small area. So, anything else about this room before we move on?
No, I mean, I'm not a fan of the ceiling color. I think it should be lighter to give you more to help with the lighting. But then again, we don't know which direction that wall of windows is facing. You know, if it's a southerly or western view, that's totally different than if it was the others. So I guess that would be a decision made, you know, when you get in the house.
Yeah, and you know, if I, well, if I was an agent, I would open up these windows, open up the blinds just to show this room off and the view. Just saying.
Yeah.
But anyway, moving on, it looks as though that little room that we saw is off the kitchen. So depending on where this window is located, I would think about demoing this wall to expand. Even if it's not in the kitchen, it's off another living area, it's another living area. So you would want that to be a capacity for your taste instead of blocking all these rooms off that are unnecessary. So here we have a bedroom. Oh, I'm sorry. Do you have anything to say about this?
No. You know, once you get the personal items or the previous owner's furnishings, I guess, out of there, you can, you know, assess. Carpet comes up. With the house is built in '56, there's a pretty solid chance you've got hardwood floors underneath there. So, you know, get those addressed, hopefully, and then, you know, get some fresh paint on the walls for uniformity and possibly the ceiling too. That's, you know, pretty standard on most of the bedrooms of houses we see. And the next one that you're, you know, close to speaking about, so I'll be quiet and let you tell us your thoughts about this second bedroom photo.
Okay, this is a nice sized bedroom from this angle. Maybe there's another photo of it in the next photo, a different photo, a different angle, I mean to say. The walls look pretty decent, so you can save on walls and not having to take it down to the studs. and endure additional material costs plus labor. And so here we have the basement, which is a good thing because it makes wiring and
Plumbing.
upgrading the plumbing easier. You have an easy access, and you're not having to break open a slab or work within a crawl space, but you actually have workable conditions in the basement in order to change those things around, which would save you time in the long run and price and material.
Yep.
Yeah. So go ahead and finish that basement out. You definitely want to make sure that there's some type of moisture barrier for these concrete walls, these cinder block walls, I meant to say. You know, go ahead and make the conduit electric behind the wall. It just adds a nice finishing touch and appreciation to the house. That's really all I have to say about this.
Okay.
You have any comments?
I'm sorry, I didn't realize that was a lead in. You know, it looks like you'd be taking a couple trips to the local Goodwill and perhaps the dump. I'm encouraged by what I see. The ducting, that doesn't look like old ducting, so maybe they've done some things to upgrade or improve on the HVAC system, which in most houses, the big four is roof, HVAC, electrical, and plumbing. So, you know, you got a good shot. At least one of them may be fairly modern and, you know, in good shape, which, you know, anything that's, you know, helps you establish the home the way you want to live in it, that's a great thing. Sort of went off from the basement there a little bit, I have to admit. But anyway, I guess that's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
we're not really sure what we're. Yeah, it looks like.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Our lot is just under 1/3 of an acre, so it's a fairly good sized yard. Maybe the view we've got here includes the yard. Maybe not. But anyway, that's what I wanted to throw in there, hoping to be helpful with unintentionally interrupting you. I'm going to shut up now, though, so that you can continue your own thought.
Well, I think this property has great potential for homesteading. I really do. I like that there is higher ground in the back. I think that adds character to the yard. And I like the fact that they have all this shade around it, but yet sunlight still is able to get through. And I would go to town back here with planting a garden. I really would. This is a decent property. However, with the price point, knowing that there are other homes that I could pay cash for is more appealing to me versus carrying a mortgage and still having to upgrade the home. One financial mistake or sickness or, you know, loss of job, and your home could go away right away. So, you know, that's my personal opinion. It's my comment about it. So I wouldn't even look at a house like this knowing that I wouldn't want to have a mortgage. So the way how the current real estate market is right now, basically it's priced itself out to an extent for most
Yeah.
people having a home of their own. So anyway, I do like this high ground back here. I really do. It's not too high where you're thinking about a mudslide happening and the outdoor elements are in your house. So, but I do like the home. So let's take a look at the neighborhood and see what surrounds us on the street. Oh boy, look at that. You're in a cul-de-sac, which is great. It's a quiet street, great for outdoor parties, barbecues, whatnot, family gatherings. And look at this huge front yard. You can have a garden in the vegetable garden in the back and a herb garden in the front. Look at this. This is nice. You have all these leaves here for composting, and it's a weekend job to get in that backyard and work it for some homesteading. I say, why not? The price of entertainment these days is so high. You could definitely make some extra cash just by selling your own produce at farmers markets or online or whatnot. Just make sure you check zoning before you go planting and disturbing the ground. That's all I gotta say. So it looks like you're on top of the hill. That ought to be fun.
Hey, no flooding.
Yeah, it is draining all downhill. Brings me back to, make sure you have some French drains or something that water can definitely roll off ground and not cause more problems for you.
Reminds me of when I built that little trench, or not built it, but dug it to drain the backyard of that one house on Lakeside Drive.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we had a molt for a minute.
We had a swimming pool in that backyard whenever it rained hard. So just dug about a 6-inch wide trench along the side from the backyard to the front, where there was good drainage at the front. So wonder if that's still there.
So we're gonna move over to the map and just see. Ooh, nice. Oh, look at this. You get a lot of bang for your buck, but I still wouldn't want to have a mortgage, simply because we've seen other properties with just as much land around for half the price of what you would be paying for with $120. So it looks like you have a what is this? A green? What do you call it? A green space? No, it's a
green belt, green space, greenway.
Green belt. Yeah, a green belt. So you could possibly have some wildlife around, like deers or deer. And look at all the space behind you from the neighbor behind you. You have lots of privacy. You probably keep those windows open, But anyway, any comments?
No. Me, I don't like to talk. I guess this is the stage of our videos where I thank you as our viewers for showing up. We're appreciative. Want you to know that if we're able to grow the channel into something that's helpful for more people, it'll just thrill us beyond measure. We believe that the median price for homes right now is just nuts, and we're doing our best to let people know that there are alternatives. It does require some effort on your part, and Tagg's really more vocal about that, and so it seems like a good time for me to stop talking so I can hand it off to you to close out our video today.
Okay, well, your dream home might be just one project away, whether if you're into fixer-uppers or homegrown gardens. This channel is your real go-to for freedom through affordable living and homesteading. Don't forget to like, subscribe to stay in the loop, and if you have a property, we would love to help you get the word out. Okay, next video.